Instead, we have k height per buffer times inbuffs size. Yeah. And instead of last shot entity, we just have ourself to worry about. Ourself to worry about. Now that's looking pretty good to me. So let's see what this does. This, I'm sure this will change the speed of the output. Let me go to Xcode now. I can show you Xcode. Will it build? Yes, it will build. Anytime you change more than 10 lines of code, just expect it not to build. If you want to live a happy life. So let's see, is it growing or what? It is growing. So let's see, is it growing or what? Hey, that's weird. Did you see that? It only grows at the very end. Okay, I think I know what's happening. I think I know what is happening. I guess this add buffers call only gets called at the very end of the input, and that makes sense. I'm not surprised. Yeah, it looks like we were just faking that the buffers were being sent one at a time. Yeah, you can see this is the offset code. It only gets called once at the very end. Yeah, so what we want to do instead of that is every time in the middle yeah, so this code right here does this it sees which buffers were hit and starts shuttle it sends them all in one chunk over to hit buffers. And this is actually kind of long. No, it's not. It's just one for loop. Yeah, just one for loop. So mLast onset buffer. So that's the first onset buffer, I guess. That gets called in set whatever. Yeah, on the state whatever. Okay. So what we can do is there's going to be another if statement that doesn't hit any of these. So let's review this control. The first if statement. This is when we're not checking mic input, so it's blank. This is when there's a sound being outputted, and that's a special case. We wait for it to finish because we don't want feedback. This here is we onset to a minimum number of periods that we are allowing to dip. Oh yeah, that's just this value. So yeah, this is all onset. And we do stuff like we set that last onset buffer. Yeah, so what we have to do is have one more statement. And that's when... not really one more statement. Yeah, we need one more statement when we still have onset. So the way we check for that is this. There's actually... yeah. And we can't just use else because there's one more... ooh, which one is it? This is getting hard. Okay, so this one is if mic entity. If mic entity. Yeah. This one is kind of class. Kind of class. This one is for filter entity. And above that is onset state. And this one is the one we're looking for. So this is where we want our else if and onset state. This is the case where we have onset and no offset yet. Yeah. We use this opportunity to shuttle some buffers over to the growing mic entity's voice entity. Yeah. So it'll be this code here, and we might be able to refactor this. Let's see what it uses. When we refactor something, we look at what's being used locally and what's shareable across functions. So here we have mic entity. We'll need to grab that. That's, yeah, unfortunately kind of hard to get because we have to go through all this game state stuff. But we can refactor from here, it looks like. And what we really want is just the first mic entity. Yeah, we want the first mic entity and a belt entity. Like that. Yeah, that is a little tricky, but we can have one call do that for us and refactor that. So yeah, I think we should refactor that code because this probably happens several times. It happens up here too. See that? Yeah, we need to refactor this. So I'll take that much, and I'm going to, for now, I'm going to kill this because we don't need that. Oops. So what was I about to do? Break this in half. Yeah, I'm going to go above it. And I'm going to say here, void input manager. If I can use this a static call, that's even better. So we'll just say static mic entity star get recent entity. No, get mic in belt. Get mic in belt. Yeah. And this is just a static function, so it's not a big deal. And doesn't look like I'm using any member variables. This is perfect for a static function. Something like this. Then you just do return mic entity. Yeah? What's this state? Yeah, that's from state. Okay. So then I just copy this guy and use it right here. And I don't need all that for loop crap. Yeah, and I have to set that to null. That's the only condition. Nil, if you will. So I can do that. Yeah, so we'll refactor all this to that, and that'll feel wonderful. We don't need the break anymore. I can't remember. Yeah, it must be like that, because this is where the brackets end. And they line up. Indentation works. Okay, so that's a nice little change. Yeah, let me really quickly build to make sure before I copy and paste that. So that did not build. Unknown something. We got to look at the error log. Unknown type name like entity. What? Okay, this is where it's wait a minute. 133. That's right here. Yeah, we just need Mike entity star. Yeah, let's try build that. That's probably it. Yeah, small little thing, but important. Yeah, so we need that. So that happens here. So it looks like we can put this here and take out all of that, right? That's what we've refactored. Yeah, and we can just use indentation to get what we need. There's no break needed. None of that needed. And wait a minute. For filter. Indentation doesn't line up. Okay, onset state's indented up to here. Yeah, then we have if statement here that pops it up one. For statement here that pops it up another. What's that for state? Yeah, ends here. What's this for filter entity stuff? That's if mic entity. Yeah, well that works then. We can explain it. Slowest way to delete a line possible, but feels great. Alright, so this looks okay. We've got, you know, some code refactored, but really nothing new yet. What we can do is now use this code again. Yeah. The only question is, do you want to refactor this part? The start found part? I think, yeah, you do, because it's with a static method, we don't even have to change the public interface or the header file. And I love not changing the header file. That makes my compile time all the much faster and myself all the much happier. So what I'm going to say, but for this one we can't really use a static method because it uses a static routine, not a method. We will need a static method, or it makes sense to just use a protected or private method. Because it has member variables been used. Yeah. Yes, it looks like no getting around that, right? If start found, I might have delete. No, here's hit buffers. Okay, so this is okay. We will need the hit buffers thing. Yeah, actually, this is a little bit